Hey! Hello, world of YouTube. This is Sheila again. I'm here for my check-in with the 2-week review of the Plant Paradox diet. I'm just letting you know if I like it still or if I ever liked it, if it's been helping me with my MS symptoms, and just all the in-between. So first off, I'm going to talk about a little bit of the negatives. When I started this, I tried to look for negative reviews because I wanted to make sure I wasn't signing myself up for something that was just going to be wretched for my body. And a lot of what I found was people talking about how difficult the Plant Paradox would be, how it's just impossible to follow because it's too big of a lifestyle change. Now, for me, that wasn't a deterrent. If any of you guys are experiencing really serious symptoms like from rheumatoid arthritis or MS or cancer or heart disease or all the different Crohn's, all the different things that he talks about this diet helping, I think you're going to understand when I say a drastic lifestyle change is completely acceptable if it leads to health and vitality and regaining some of normal in your life. So I still decided to go ahead with it, but I can confirm that it is really difficult to follow. First off, restaurants. Anytime I go to restaurants with family or friends, it's pretty much impossible to actually strictly stick with the diet. You can get a salad with no dressing, no cheese, because most restaurants don't have goat's cheese. Leave off the tomatoes, leave off the cucumbers, leave off the croutons, and sometimes you're left with just nothing but lettuce. And so if you want to get any protein or anything filling, sometimes you just kind of have to make amends and just follow it as well as you can. I would encourage people to not give up just because they feel like they can't get every meal perfect. Because if you're going from something that's really, really harmful for your body and you're eliminating 80% of the stuff that was harmful, that's still going to be an awesome improvement. So don't get discouraged by stuff like that. It is more expensive when it comes to grocery shopping. I'm buying all this stuff fresh, and you expect to do a lot more cooking yourself. I haven't found a single ready-made meal, nothing from the freezer section, that fits the diet as far as non-GMO and the right kind of vegetables and no grains. That's pretty much, I don't know, I haven't had any luck with that. If anyone has, please put that in the comments because that would be super helpful for me and everybody else trying to follow this diet. But I've been just buying everything fresh and preparing a lot of meals, eating a lot of salads, following some of the recipes in Dr. Gundry's book. And some of those are really delicious, I will say. But one thing, like goat's milk, cheese is expensive. It's a lot more expensive than regular cheese. So I found some that I really like, but for the most part, I've just kind of cut down on cheese as much as possible to keep costs down. And the other thing is meat. So Dr. Gundry says some different things with meat. One of the things is not to get farm-raised fish, but to get wild caught instead. Can you believe that we serve corn to farm-raised fish? That was crazy for me to read. Obviously, fish don't eat corn in the wild. I can't believe we're putting corn in pretty much everything that we consume. So it makes perfect sense to me that he would advise getting wild-caught fish. But wild-caught fish is expensive, and so I've just kind of cut down on fish too. It's delicious, but I'm not going to eat that every day. Lamb seems to be good. Lamb, I couldn't find lamb at Walmart, but I mean, lamb is at least at a lot of restaurants and things like that where you can get it, and it's pretty safe because it's the only thing it's been doing is drinking its mom's milk. And then chicken. I don't know what he's thinking with chicken because Dr. Gundry talks about it like it is just perfectly easy and normal to get corn-free chicken. It's not. I have found it to be virtually impossible in the state of Oklahoma. I haven't found a single farm that has corn-free chicken. I have found soy-free chicken, and I found vegetarian raised, which if you read his book, you're going to realize vegetarian chicken is like the worst ever. It's terribly unhealthy. It means they have never eaten a bug and they've been kept inside and locked up and everything else. So it's just like, it's completely unnatural how they're raised, and it's not going to be as healthy. Same thing with eggs, though. I haven't been able to find corn-free eggs. Now, one amendment here. I did find a farm in Florida where you can order and purchase corn-free, soy-free, non-GMO chicken and eggs. So if you want to do that, I'm going to give you the website. I can tell you for me, it was more expensive than I wanted to pay. And you have to buy it kind of like in bulk with the eggs and stuff. But it's I wrote it down here. It's circlefarmfl.com. circlefarmfl.com. I didn't buy from them, so I can't attest to the quality of it or anything else, but it is literally the only farm that I was able to find where you could get corn-free chicken and eggs and actually have it delivered to you. But I could not find it in any store or any local farm. So good luck with that. But I've been doing mostly 100% grass-fed beef and just trying to cut down on chicken and things where I can, or even using something like nuts in a meal to provide protein and just avoiding meat altogether. The next thing here, okay, so I did want to clarify one thing. In my last video, I mentioned that I wasn't overweight and then said, yay, I lost 6 pounds, which wouldn't be something you're cheering about if you're not overweight. So to clarify, I am a little bit overweight. I was saying that in context of using the little remote controlled carts at Walmart and just saying that I'm not the sort of person that looks like I have a disability that would require me to use one of those, such as being morbidly obese. But anyway, I digress. So currently I'm at 8 pounds lost, and I'm actually 16 days into my diet. So obviously weight loss has slowed down when I lost 6 pounds in 5 days, and then 16 days into the diet, I'm at only 8, but it was still nice to still see it trending down, especially when I'm really almost completely physically inactive right now. I'm walking around in the house, but not really taking walks or doing any sort of physical workout right now because of my symptoms. I can't. So still nice to feel that going down and to feel that health boost. Now, as far as other perks of the diet, I can tell you that I feel a lot more energy. I feel like my system is just flooded with vitamins and nutrients, and in a lot of ways I didn't realize how much I was missing out on by having grains, bread, rice, pasta in my normal daily routine when it comes to eating, because those things fill you up so fast and you don't realize they're taking the place of all the vegetables that you could be consuming instead, which are so rich in vitamins and nutrients and all the things that you really need. So I've actually had a lot more energy. I've also been starving all the time. Honestly, today's the first day that I can tell you I haven't felt hungry from the time that I woke up until I went to bed. Now, I've had tons of energy, so I know I'm getting everything I need. I'm getting carbs, I'm getting protein, I'm getting those things, but my body is craving sugar and bread and all the things that I'm taking away from it, because as he talks about your hollow biome, it's like sending cravings to your brain saying, feed me all the nasty stuff that I like to feed on. And so that has taken a while for my body to get used to. One thing though, I have to show you this. Okay, one thing I found that was just a godsend these are sweet potato chips, but it's so hard to find anything that's actually okay in your diet. So these are, this is a brand, Jackson's Honest, that I got at Sprouts, sweet potato chips. They are made with coconut oil, and they literally have 3 ingredients: sweet potatoes, coconut oil, and sea salt, and they are non-GMO. So find that at Sprouts. You might be able to find it at Whole Foods or something, I'm not sure. But they have been awesome because I can eat as many of these things as I want, and they're still within diet, and I've still been losing weight. So that's kind of a godsend when it comes to being hungry. And then I've made some of the muffin recipes that Dr. Gundry has too, and that helps a bit as well. If you make some of that stuff ahead of time, you are less likely to cave and get something that you will regret that is outside of your diet when it comes to snacking. Wait it out though, because you do eventually stop feeling hungry all the time. And certainly you start seeing the benefits of it. So more energy, weight loss. Now, and digestive. My digestive system has been working a lot better. I was to the point where, for one, when I was hungry, I would just be suddenly starving to the point of feeling nauseous. And I knew my system was out of whack, because that's just not how my body should respond when it's telling me I'm hungry. But also fiber was really hitting me hard. If I ate anything with fiber, like if I was eating celery in a meal, before I was done with the meal, I would be bloated up huge and sick, like nauseous and stuff, and like constipated for days. So I was starting to really avoid fiber, but I am eating really fiber-rich foods right now with vegetables, kale, Brussels sprouts, coleslaw, just things that are full of fiber, and it hasn't been an issue. In fact, my stomach has been flatter than it has been in a long time. So that's been great to see and great to feel. Now, as far as my MS symptoms, if you watched the first video, you know some of this, but to fill you in if you haven't, I haven't officially been diagnosed with MS, but I've been having all these MS symptoms, and I've had 3 doctors now tell me that that's probably what I have, but they haven't been able to firmly diagnose it or find enough evidence of it on scans and stuff yet, so I'm kind of in the in-between. As far as MS symptoms go, I really haven't noticed a difference. I had a couple of really good days at first, and I thought, yes, this is awesome. My diet's working. I was able to walk around, get out in the heat, do things that I can't always do. But then they were followed up with some really bad days, and that's honestly normal for me. I'll have a couple great days, maybe even 3 or 4 great days in a row where I feel a bit more energy and less muscle pain than normal and more flexibility in my muscles, and I'll feel pretty good. But then I'll have that followed up by 2 or 3 really bad days where I'm just getting cramping and pain and nerve pain in my legs all the time. And so that's the same. To say whether or not this diet will ever help those symptoms, honestly, I can't say that at this point, because some people, it just takes longer for everything to get flushed out of your system. But I don't know. I'm not at a point right now where I can say, yes, this will be the cure for my MS symptoms. But I have liked what I have seen. I've liked feeling this cleaned out, less weighted down, more energy sensation. So that is enough for me to want to continue this diet. For sure, I want to continue it for 2 weeks, as strictly as I can. And if I don't continue it strictly after that, I know for a fact that I've learned some things about my health and my body and how it operates, that I don't want to go back to just eating really lectin-rich food as a norm. I did have one cheat day the other day. I have a Jew living in my house, which is awesome because she's a really good cook, and she made us a 3-course meal for Rosh Hashanah, complete with challah bread and honey cake, and so I cheated and I ate it, and I wasn't like super sick or bloated the moment I ate it or anything crazy like that, but I was a bit bloated the next morning, and I was 3 pounds heavier. So I know that bread hits me hard. I don't think that it's like something I can never eat again, but I think that I need to be aware of what it does to my system and how much it blocks it up and steals the nutrients and stuff that I can have. So that was an interesting experience, just to see the impact and to know how I can feel when I'm not eating that every day has been really eye-opening. So as always, please post comments, any questions you have, any words of encouragement, any advice if you have done this diet before, anything like that. I would be happy to see it. So until next week, bye.